Hi. Welcome back to Mondo Goal, mondogoal.com. In Ball Street's office this week, we have some builders because we're getting the soundproofing done. Let's go log into Mondo Goal. Great week for Ball Street, the most we've ever had on Ball Street. And I promised last week, if we get over 95 points, I'm gonna buy everyone in the office ice cream. That puts you top of the, hold on a minute.
They've got Man United players in the team. You're not supposed to be able to select players from the early kickoff. I'm sorry, as far as I'm concerned, that team is null and void.
And in the 1 week that we get the most points we're ever gonna get, we get disqualified. Unusual.
Well, at least we've not lost this week.
Arsenal Fan TV apparently lost their points in the first week. Robbie somehow thinks he's got them back. Redmen now, I have no idea what's going on there. Wait a minute, Robbie claims he was outside Wembley this week. Let's take a look and see what views he got.
Check that out. Check it out.
Do you ever just laugh at something and then not explain it to your viewers? Now, there's nothing that I love more than a good romantic meal and talking about my fantasy team.
Stefanberg, snap, because he's ridiculous as you.
Let me put it this way. I don't pick the team every week. I'm just the face of this operation. We've decided to hand it around the office to the interns. Nice guys who are working for relatively little money compared to anyone else doing this. Now, the Redmen want to take away the pleasure that the interns have of actually playing this game because they want to have some banter, in inverted commas, so that we don't get any points this week. Tell me, Redmen, do you really want to take ice cream away from some young men working hard?
It's fantasy, Robbie.
Now, 1 week you can't shout, it's fantasy football.
Fantasy.
And then the next week say, you can't have your points for the players that did well.
Fantasy.
You said we get 0 points this week. I don't think that's fair. What we're saying from our offices
Fantasy.
is that we get the points for the players that we legitimately fielded, and for the United players, we don't get any points for that.
Fantasy.
Now that's still fair because that still keeps us whipping both your asses in the league, which we both know is going to happen anyway. And we got a lot of points last week. Do you really want to take ice cream away from people? No, thank you, right. You are nice guys, despite what the comments say.
So what are Ball Street up to?
Okay.
Smarmy.
Smarmy? I don't know what you mean. Who was the guy who did the team this week? Daniel, right? Yeah. Nice guy, intern in the office, leaving on the day that we put this video out. Thanks for coming in, Dan. He's left 1.2 million left. Is that going to be a mistake? In goal, Jack Butland, great choice. Back line, this could be good, it could be terrible. Mika Richards. Aston Villa playing, it doesn't matter who Aston Villa are playing, because they probably will end up conceding, but they are playing Sunderland. Seamus Coleman, just because of his accent. Jose Font, someone that everyone chooses every week. David Silva, great week last week. Juan Mata, someone who should have been able to enter the team last week. Jesus Navas, I'd say that's the most controversial pick we have. Bakary Sakho, Crystal Palace, where are we going with them? Away to Chelsea. I mean, he may dominate the midfield. Sergio Aguero, Diego Costa, and then at very bottom, Pella. Will Pella get goals against Norwich? I don't know, maybe I'm confident about that one. Now, for some reason, we got called Cheat Street last week. I don't quite know how that works. Do you guys actually understand what cheating is?
Fantasy.
No, clearly not. Okay, Redmen have picked 2 teams this week. Chris's team first, Jack Butland in goal. Matched us up there, Chris. Vincent Kompany. Good choice. Nathaniel Klein, very good choice. You know when Glenn Johnson said that whole thing about no one's going to walk into the team? Glenn, you left like a gaping hole at right back. And that was even when you were playing. How the hell have they got 4 Man City players in this team? Now, this is the best pick for Redmen this week. And there's 2 guys that I'd take, would be Pedro and Coutinho. All right? Coutinho ran it against Arsenal, really good player. And then Pedro ran it too, and he's so cheap at 6.2 million. Paul's team from Redmen, we all know Paul. He's also picked Pedro. I'm kind of annoyed we didn't pick Pedro at this point. Right, now Robbie from Arsenal Fan TV.
Smarmy.
Hi, Robbie. He's gone for Giroud and Sanchez. Both those guys this week putting a lot of eggs in one basket. Let me show you some more great things to do with Mondo Goal. This is the best bit of fantasy because it makes you feel like you're actually doing it as opposed to just picking a team based on a feeling. Sergio Aguero, great season. Now, I don't know what any of these numbers mean, but they, again, make me feel confident about picking Sergio, okay? The chart says he's on an upturn, all right? Daniel, great job. If you get over 120, I'll buy everyone in the office my favorite Itsu meal.
Smarmy.
What do you mean he's smarmy? You're good? Yeah. Now, come on in. I'm good, yeah. Do you want to be in the shoot? Just while we're here, let's go through the table that the Redmen allege is the real table, and we'll work out whether the Redmen and everyone else would be behind or ahead of Ball Street. So Redmen, just up here at the top there, that's 195 points. Yeah, that's still not as many points as we'd have. Just in second place there, Arsenal Fan TV. But then in third place here, just because I feel like the fan channels have gotten together because they saw last week's video a little bit. Salty much?
Smarmy.
And there we are, Cheat Street. I have no idea why. You can put any word before street and it sounds good, apart from ball. Credit though to Fighting Like Beavers, who won 120.7 points. Now it's that time of the week where we're gonna go through what our favorite game of the week is gonna be. Here's one you'll understand here, Redmen. It's your old captain, Steven Gerrard, and Robbie Keane, mostly. Giovanni's in there too. And that's on Saturday at 4 AM. Something we'll all be getting up for to watch there in our favorite league, MLS. Anyway, Newcastle Arsenal, Saturday, 12:45 PM, the kickoff. What's the score going to be? I don't know, you tell me, Robbie.
3.
Thanks, Robbie. Do you ever just shut your laptop and then reopen it?
Is null and void. If you want to enter your team into the league...
Oh shit, I need it again. Anyway, thanks a lot for joining us. We'll see you again real soon on Mondo Goal.
Void. So moving on, don't forget to enter your team into the league. If you want to enter your team into the league, 2 leagues you can enter. There's the 10,000 Premier League Shootout League.